Hello, good evening, and welcome to F3, where we have 14 drivers on the grid. It's meant to be 15, but it is what it is. Attendance is so-so. We're getting about 3/4 of the grid full every race in all across the tiers, but it is what it is. Yes, F4 is currently trying to I don't know, they're trying to sort some stuff out. But anyway, we're going to focus here on F3. After an F5 to remember in Hungary, where Manuel Quesadilla tried to kill everyone in the lobby. Did he succeed? Not quite, but he did try. So just points for trying. An effort is there. Anyway, back to F3. Yeast on pole provisionally. Lugotza in the kick. Sauber. What? Was he not meant to be in the Williams? Alright, whatever. And we have then Liquid Surfer. I can't remember your name. I think you're Ricardo as far as I remember. Then Barry Kruger in P2 in the Haas. Mr. Liam Cross in P5 at the moment as he dives into the pits. Edgar Phillips in the Mercedes. Sam Kent in the other Haas. Then Matthew Heaney on his first race of the season. He's subbing in the McLaren this evening, looking for a full-time seat is Matthew. One of the nicer Matthews. As Sam goes fastest into the 1:16 ones. That's a quick lap. He's dumped that on everybody there. As Rob Knable going P2 with a 1:16.3. Aaron Stone is on the track as well. His little Chuckle brothers, or Blues brothers, David Ann and Mark Anderson, not racing tonight. Leon Rio. Who's Leon Rio now? Then Charlie Gordon and John Ahern yet to set a time, the last of the drivers to do so. Looking at the standings in F3 at the moment, we've had a few drivers being promoted here, a few being relegated as well. So currently Yeast does lead the way by 10 points. To his nearest rival, so that's quite a commanding lead after 3 rounds. He says he forgot to pit at the end of his lap. That was intelligent. But yes, and then driver standings wise, Ferrari is killing it. Well, they're only 3 points ahead of the Saubers. Well, it is what it is. Further down the field then, Mark Anderson is in P4, Foleau is in P5, Aaron Stone is in P6 in this championship. Giuseppe, who's been moved up to F2, was in P7, Charlie Gordon in P8, Liam is in P9. He's had a few disappointing initial races of the season, opening bouts, but then he's shown great pace in F2 and in F1, so it's one of those things where he just needs to deliver in his actual tier. Jack Cooper in P10, Yarrow DeWitt in P11, he's not racing tonight. Sam in P12 has a chance to get some serious points this evening and make a dent into that championship lead. Imagine if it was Sam v Yeast for the championship. That would be a great battle, on and off the track. Both of them very clean racers, but not just that, they are quite funny, guys. Good evening, Zaddle. Good evening, Emo. How is everybody? 10 minutes to go in qualifying. Everyone has set a time apart from Charlie. The 2 Aston Martins in 9th and 10th. With Hungary actually happening this weekend in real life as well. So we tied that nicely up in the calendar. We were going to tie Monza up as well, but I'm off to Monza for the race, so we're not. It is what it is. David Ann is complaining about me not reading the rest of the standings. David, I can't really be arsed, to be honest, you know. Good evening, Angry Ink. How are you? Besides, you're like in P like 19 or something, so I don't even know where you are. It's all about Mark Anderson. As Edzak has retired from the session, has he lost the car somewhere? He has, and looks like there's a little kink on his turn too. I think that's turn 2. I don't know if you consider that a turn. Some tracks you would, other tracks you wouldn't. Let's find out where you are in the standings, David. Because he thinks he's in 13th or 14th. Can't possibly be that low. As Ronkson is just yapping away in the F4 chat on overdrive. You are 15th, David. You are 15th. Muy bueno. I think Mr. Liquid Server is Arthur Woods. That would make sense. That would make sense. But anyway, as we move on, I hope everyone's had a nice week. It was quite a long week for myself. But normally Lex is the person to ask me that. Hello, Mr. Blasic. It's Andre. Oh, hi, Andre. Andre, who's somebody who had a good shot winning the title here, was the latest of the promotion Grim Reaper victims. He claimed Camel. He claimed Giuseppe. He might be claiming Yeast after this evening. He claimed Andre. Now Camel is leading in F2, so I think that was a valid promotion, all things considered. Now what can... Oh! Mr. Kent doing a Mr. Drift. Sam DK Kent on it yet again as Yeast goes even faster. Nearly a 10th clear of his rival in the Haas. Lugo's in P3. What is going on here? Channeling his inner Nico Hulkenberg this evening. That's a new one. That's a new one. Oh, there's the Lugo's we know. Arthur Woods going P2 with a 1:16.14. So not a lot separating this field. It seems to be very close now that we've gotten rid of the very fast drivers, guys. F3 seems balanced at long fucking last. Less than a second separates nearly the whole field apart from Matthew Heaney. Just over a second, actually. Just over a second, which is great. It's fantastic. That's very close. Good evening, Mr. Lex. I hope you had a nice week, sir. As Mr. Barry Kruger is probably on his in-lap by the looks of it. And he's gone P2, yeah he is. He's gone P2. So there's just not a lot between this whole cohort. Less than a 10th separates P1 to P4. Very good. Very good. Lex, I'm okay. I was not working today. I was playing tennis in the morning. And then I went to get my racket restrung, which cost quite a bit of money. And then I just played PlayStation for the rest of the day. I just took the day off from work. It was fantastic. I had one business call for Invisalign. And then after that, it was easy straight. That was my day. Busy week apart from that. Busy week. Well, I'm actually getting a flight to go back home to see my parents after this race. So, anybody at Terminal 3 Manchester Airport, hit me up. We can go for a pint. Barry into the pits. Yeast is in the pits. Sam is on his outlap. We will ride on board with him as he goes around the dreaded turn 5. Also known as Santos Corner for those who were in F5 and know the lore. Probably not a lot of drivers here do know that lore, but anyway. As Jack Cooper has stuck his nose in it. No back pain today. That's good. No, I have no back pain today. I've got shoulder pain actually, I've got shoulder pain from playing too much tennis. But apparently it's because my racket, like my strings were loosing, they lost like 12 points of tension. Because of that, it was actually hurting my shoulder. So you learn something new every day. The guy in the shop was telling me this. As there's yellow flags on the track, and that looks like maybe it's for Mr. Jack Cooper. Jack with a great lap there into the 115s. What did I say, Matthew? I said hello. I said you're one of the nicer Matthews that I know. I can't remember what else I said about you. Rob Knable. There's a few Irish guys here. There's John Ahern and there's Matthew and there's myself. Rob Knable in P8 at the moment with a 1:16.3. Lap times are very close here. This is great. I'm going to keep saying it until I drill it into all your heads. F3 is balanced at long last. You're all welcome. Yes, the shoulder pain is back next. But it's literally a strain injury, you know, it's just a repetitive strain injury from tennis. Like, I only feel it when I'm serving. When I'm doing like forehands and backhands, it's fine. Sorry, making me laugh. Alex, I want you to join F3 as well. I missed commentating on you. It was fun. You're one of the more entertaining characters. I know. I got strength. I know. I will. I promise. I have a busy 2 months ahead of me, but I am gonna go more to the gym and do less sports. Good evening, Zeman. How are you, sir? I will. I promise. As God is my witness, Lex, I will strengthen the shoulder. 2.5 minutes to go in qualifying, and Sam Kent is still leading the way as he's went even faster. We missed that because we were talking shite to Lex. As Giuseppe Ciao. Good evening, Camel, Mr. Ronaldinho. I see all the victims who used to drive an F3 are watching F3. You poor bastards. I feel so sorry for you all. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could have kept you in this tier and commentated on you. You know I'd love to do that. But you were all too quick. Maybe this Sam Kent guy is too quick. Maybe he's too quick. As the delta between the top two, well, P1 really, and the rest of the field is growing. As Yeast is about to start his lap, and let's ride on board with the Englishman from Ipswich. At least I'm assuming Yeast is from Ipswich. And he is starting his lap here, burning that battery. Long way down, only overtaking spot on the track into turn 1 here. You got to be careful not to lose traction because it is a double DRS zone and that can unsettle the car. On the run down to turn 2 now, can't keep the car in 6th gear, elects to put it in 7th, game glitches out there. That's a bit of a moment, ending up in 2nd gear there for a second. Then through turn 3, now up to turn 4, one of the trickiest corners on this track. Difficult to get right all the time, and you can just do that and invalidate is exactly what Yeast has done. The map is red, just like his Ferrari, and that will be the end of Mr. Beard's attempt. Arthur Woods is about to start his flying lap now, as he heads into turn 1. And sometimes you see drivers just short shift here, just to prevent any wheel spin. It's a real hallmark if someone's not on traction control. Bottle job, I agree. Everyone's saying it's rigged for Yeast. Maybe it is, but he has to still bloody do the job. Yeast is the Lando Norris of F3. Mr. Ball, as Matthew Heaney has retired from the session. That's actually a fair comparison. Yeast probably is the Lando Norris of F3. As Arthur's flying along here in a tricky sector 2. All about your throttle control there. As qualifying is done and dusted, there will be drivers crossing. Lugots is going to go P3. Next across the line, is it Liam Cross? It is going to be Liam Cross. And where is he going to end up? It's P3 for Liam. He pushes Lugo's down to P4. Next is going to be a Mercedes across. That's Charlie Gordon. In his only lap attempt, he's going to go P10. Next across the line is Leon, I believe, Mr. Ricardo. And his teammate Arthur Woods is going to cross after him. And that's going to be good number P2 for Mr. Woods. Excellent showing. Right, who's left here? Rob Knable's on a lap. Yeast is on a lap. Barry Kruger's on a lap. But next across the line will be, as some call him, Mr. Unk, John Ahern, drifting through this last corner here in third gear. A bit late getting into fourth. DRS wide open. He's going to be the 15th. He goes pole with a 1:15.6. Can Yeast respond? Barry Kruger's going to be next though. Where is Barry Kruger? He's in the pits. No good for him. Now, one of the last lads to cross the line. Can he go on pole? No, he can't. It's only 8th for Yeast. Wow. Well, what has happened there? Rob Knable also into the pits, and that is qualifying. Wowee. So everyone's saving their best till last. Look how close that grid is. The chat is bullying Yeast. Macaulay, Lando Norris, Beard in the house. What a bottle job. Well, that was an interesting qualifying session at the end there. Well, an interesting qualifying session to say the least. So, John Ahern in P1, Sam Kent in P2, Arthur Woods P3, Jack Cooper in P4, Liam Cross in P5, Lou Goetz in P6, Rob Knable in P7, so less than 3/10 separates the top 7. Then Yeast, after a disappointing qualifying session for him. I'm going to go really hard on the Yeast bias here, you know, like the way David Croft does for Lando Norris. Barry Kruger in P9, Ricardo Chilverlin in P10, Charlie Gordon in P11. He only had one attempt. Aaron, Edzak and Matthew DNF'd. Doesn't look to be a cloud in the sky. So strategy-wise, you can do a one-stop in this race. It is possible. Most drivers do elect for the two-stop. Safety car is quite likely as well, as it is quite a narrow circuit. But we will indeed see what's happening. Ivan Belov thinks I'm gay. Thank you very much for the compliment, sir. I'll be back in F3, says Andre. Oh, I did a mistake. Yes, a lot of tyre saving is needed. If you can get the mediums to go to about lap 15, you can do it. Though they do start to drop off to a cliff after lap 8 or so on this track. The deck is quite heavy. Softs will last 6 or 7 laps, but that's about it. Ivan Belov, one of the best tier coordinators we've ever had in the Ero. Anyway, 5 red lights. They are out. We're away in racing. Does John Ahern get a good start? It's hard to see from this camera angle. Arthur Woods has got a good start, and Sam Kent, and he's already up to P2. There's loads of drivers moving behind. Down into turn 1. Who makes a Bottas out of it? Nobody just yet. The Ferrari's narrowly avoiding chaos there. The Alpine's gone off the track. And Liam Cross is battling for P3. There's a bit of contact with them there, and Arthur Woods. Further down the field, we do see Jack Cooper losing and fighting along with Rob Knable. Charlie Gordon and Yeast are fighting, and there's carbon fibre flying everywhere there. As we see, Lou Goetz's front wing is gone. He's down to P14. Bit of a disastrous start for him. The two Mercedes are in P30 and P12. Aaron Stone in P11. Matthew Heaney in P10. Ricardo Chauffeur in P9. Yeast in P8. Barry in P7. Jack 6th. Rob 5th. Liam Cross in P4. Arthur in P3. Sam Kent in P2. And John Ahern keeps the lead for now. Let's have a look and see who's on what. The whole field elects for the mediums apart from Edzak, who starts on the hards. Wrongston lasted 2 laps in F3, Camel, before he threw his temper tantrum and cried to be moved. As naturally enough, John Ahern will set the pass in the back of the race. DRS will be wide open for the next time they go running around this track. Lugots and Charlie into the pits as we enter into lap 2 of 35. As it goes from bad to worse for Mr. Merrion. He's got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Not good at all. Sam staying within DRS of John at the moment. Arthur is just out there, as Liam is now also staying there. To be very careful of track limits there. I'm sure that was a track limits warning for Mr. Cross as he goes through turn 5 into this little tricky chicane, which is turn 6, which is not a sensible overtaking zone, may I just add. Bashi, hello my love, how are you? My teammate in GT7 who's doing a great job this year. Fantastic job, it must be said. Jack Cooper kind of just tucking in here behind Rob Knable. You have to be very careful of the dirty air on this track as well. It's quite strong. This is quite strong. Barry Kruger in P7 at the moment, and there's a bit of a DRS train forming here as John Ahern's gone even faster, naturally enough. Oh, what's this? Further up the field, there's also big moves made as Liam into turn 1, getting the move done on the V-carb into P3. He goes. Can he make his way up the field? Someone asked me today, I'm not sure if it was an admin or somebody else, but someone said, you know, what pace is Liam? And I said, he used to be F1 or F2 pace. He said a poor start of the season in F3. He's been quick in F2. He's been relatively quick in F1 in comparison to the stacked field we have there. But now quietly he's doing bits here. Is he a dark horse for this title? Would it be a Ferrari versus Ferrari championship in F3? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you, Vashi. I do have the most consistent score in GT7 of 0, because I have not reached yet. I might be racing this Wednesday. Just saying. Might be racing. Hold, you know. Stop the press. But we will move on with that. Anyway, Sam with DRS on John down the main straight. Not a whole lot of battery, where John has loads of battery. DRS worth about 2/10 here, roughly. Not a whole lot compared to other circuits. This DRS straight here is just useless. As you can see there, the DRS actually unsettling Sam's car. Matthew and Aaron fighting further down the field as Mr. Stone gets the move done, and Matthew almost kills himself. And that's going to compromise him to Ricardo behind. Nobody's DNF'd yet as we're into lap 4 of 35. You can't DNF in GT7. There is no sandbagger at the moment in F3 Camo, okay? Okay, there is no sandbagger in here just yet. Right, so good train forming here from P5 all the way down to P11. So the field is pretty close together, apart from the two guys at the back. Edzak struggling to keep up, but I think he's catching up now. Further up the field, Sam gaining before the DRS is activated. And he's been towed along here. He's going to want to break the dirty air though soon. Break out of this dirty air, which is very strong in this game, which we all found out in F5, and he's less than half a second. There's another wobble there turn 1. If you're listening, Sam, short shift. Yeast holding up now. Arthur, by the looks of it, Arthur right behind him in sector 1. As they go to turn 3 and 4 now. You got to be very brave to make a move there. You got to be very, very brave. No one with a real penalty yet for track limits, which is good to see. It's unusual from this lot. I agree, Bashi. Go, Liam, go. There's Matthew and Ricardo are fighting further down the field. Matthew up to P9, Ricardo down to P10. Yeast has company. He has the wolf behind him. It's like the guy of the Gladiators. I don't know if you ever watched that TV show as a kid. But our Lando Norris elects doing Lando Norris things, sitting middle of the pack with the fastest car on the track. Barry Kruger not making much ways here. So it's a very DRS, it's a very train heavy track here. Like there's not a lot of overtaking spots here. Often described as Monaco without the walls. You don't see a lot of drivers overtaking in Hungary, and you have to just pick your moments, wait till someone makes a mistake just like that, and then pick up the pieces. Rob up to P4, Arthur down to P5. Aaron and Yeast though fighting yet again. The wolf hunting his prey. Aaron Stone, who did one race in F4, automatically promoted back up to F3, no questions asked. Very competitive here. And further up the field, Sam is starting to lose pace with John as those mediums begin to grain in now. Drivers will start to fill the deck in the next lap or two. Depends how hard. Liam kind of riding by himself here in P3 without the help of DRS. He's just kind of dropping off, but Rob has also not got DRS, so a bit of a gap forming now between the top 4. Sam being towed on nicely here with DRS. I keep seeing the word DRS. And Mr. Knable is vulnerable to the drivers behind. Is Arthur going to make a move here? He's thought about it. He's still thinking about it. He doesn't know what to do. He was considering it there for quite some time. I think he's lost a bit of time to Barry as a result of that. Now Yeast and Matthew Heating are fighting. Where is Matthew? There he is. Side by side into the same spot Aaron and Macaulay were fighting. And look at this for a switchback by Matthew. Doesn't get it. Oh my god, what are these camera angles? Doesn't get it, but tried it there. Tried his best. That was a nice attempt. But he's going to have to sit behind the Ferrari for a little while longer. As Aaron's dropped the boys behind. He's nearly 2 seconds clear. He is 2 seconds clear. Trying to catch up to the pack in front of him. As we're into lap 7 of 35, this race is flying by. Now Sam almost a second out of sight the second. He is now. Is John breaking the DRS? I think he has broken it already. He broke it there. Sam's really going to have to push to get back into it. He's going to have to set a lap. As he is over 4 seconds away though, but Rob Knable hot on his tail. As Matthew now and Yeast fighting yet again, these two, as Matthew's gone off the track. That opens the door to Ricardo to get involved, as Ricardo just slides through turn 4. Up to 5. Everyone's still intact. No safety car yet. There's only been 2 pits. There's been 3, sorry, as Jack Cooper has also pit recently. Medium runner is going to feel the deck now quite a lot. It's going to start to get very, very heavy. Tyre management is going to come into play here. As Arthur Woods looking for some magic to get past these two in front of him. As Barry's just dropped off the pace a little bit now. He's not going to have DRS. And Aaron Stone is catching up to this pack. He's caught over a second. As Rob and Liam fighting side by side into turn 1. Liam keeps the position for now. But Mr. Knable knocking on the door. Matthew and Yeast, saying every time I look at these two fighting, they're fighting the exact same spot, and Yeast is going to have to concede this position here. He's going to have to indeed. Our championship leader, as there's a yellow flag in sector 2, is that Aaron Stone? It is, and he's lost his front wing. Well, how have you done that now, you silly? That wasn't the most intelligent thing in the world, was it? As Charlie Gordon is our first driver of the day to get a 3-second time limit for penalty for track limits. As we see, Lugo's just kind of going on the grass and skidding. He's going to be hoping for a safety car. Further back up the field, John Ahern has broken the DRS and now will try to pull away as best he can. Rob and Liam fighting yet again into turn 1 side by side. Liam still somehow keeping the position here. But here comes the Belgian. Liam hard but fair racing there. Not necessarily cutting him off, but just sticking to his line. His line just happens to go in the way of Rob. As Aaron Stone is into the pits to change his dodgy wing. As these three have been very close. Barry's caught up at long last. He's within DRS range. So there's a pack of 4 here now, all looking to get involved. I get that last spot on the podium as it stands at the moment because the top 2 have ran away. 6 seconds clear. It's not helping that Liam is fighting every turn 1, but you see this is the double apex here now. Sector 3, I think this is turn 11. No driver electing to pit just yet, so it looks like it's going to be a one-stop for everybody. And is Rob going to make the move here? This time he elects not to. He wants to stay behind, just tuck in the pocket. Yeast into the pits. And yet again, nothing happening there. Everyone just staying nice to information. As we go further back up the field here, as Sam is actually caught up with John just a little bit. As Andre has said, he's seen enough. John Ahern to F2. The latest victim to be promoted. Is Aaron Stone in the pits again? It looks like he is. Yellow flag in sector 2. Someone's come off. It's got green flags, so no safety car just yet. As the race begins to settle down. However, who the hell is that? Oh, it must be Aaron Stone. Sam Kent has caught up with John. Well, he did until something happened there. It was less than a second. Now it's 3 seconds apparently. As we're about a third race distance away, I think the deltas are all wrong here. There's another yellow flag in Sector 2. And that looks to be either Aaron again. Aaron's just having a moment here. He's just not having a good race now. Hopefully the second half of the race will be better for him. A safety car will get him right back in the middle of things. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. His rear wing must be damaged. I can't change camera angles for him for some reason. There we go. Well, he's got no front left end plate. He must have rear wing damage. John Ahern into the pits. Sam elects to stay out. So by pitting this a little bit earlier, does that confide him to a 2-stop? That is the operative question here. Aaron back into the pits for the third time in as many laps. Liam up to P2, Rob up to P3, Arthur up to P4. So what is the distance between John and Aaron has retired in the pits? Oh yeah, I think he had rear wing damage. So it's 17 seconds between himself and Sam. That's the main thing to know here. And we're going to see how this develops as the race goes on. John's going to have fresh, hard tyres, as opposed to Edzak, who's got worn tyres. The issue he's going to have, though, is he's not going to be able to get past him. He's going to be losing loads of time here now. And instead of gaining time here, he's losing time. Look, he's not even... He's hovering just around the 16.8, 16.9. So... the man who is on pole must be getting frustrated here, as Edzak's not giving this up either. Edzak not letting him pass, as there's loads of drivers pitting now. Sam's pit, Rob's pit, and Barry's pit. But just like that, you know, Edzak doing a bit of defending here. And John's going to fly by him now with DRS, but... interesting there. And Sam, that's probably given Sam a bit of a lifeline, if I'm being honest. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, as Matthew Heaney has lost the car. And surely that's going to bring out the safety car. Yes, it does indeed. Does this benefit Liam? Will he get a nice stop? And Arthur behind. Well, surely they have to pit now, along with Ricardo. Their pit. It'll be close. If you're Jack Cooper, do you pit here? That's an interesting question. The top four should probably all pit here. There's about 17 seconds separating John here from Liam. 16.5 seconds it says now, whatever. Is that enough under safety car though? That is the main question. Liam does indeed pit, so does Arthur. It's Jack and Leon that we'll see next into the box. And I think Liam's actually, it's going to be very close here. Liam will just come out behind John. Just about there. Not a whole lot in that. So John maintains his lead. These dudes have 2 lap older hard tyres. So a fortuitous safety car for some of our drivers. It didn't affect everybody the way we thought it would, but this is a chance for Lugos to get back into the race. This is a great chance for him to get back into the race. Same with Charlie. Charlie not having the best of races so far. Edzak with the stellar defending. As I'm currently just sending some documents to Mr. Kamil Blizikinski, our goated standings editor, who does so much for us. He is an integral part of the Ero. Because I know he'll be wanting to get started on these standings ASAP, because he is like that. He's very diligent. I am currently leading the driver of the day vote in F5. Where is Quesadilla though? I wonder what's happening in F4. And we are away and racing on again. As I was looking at my phone, as there's a lot of movement here. Liam is keeping P2. Sam is battling with Arthur for P3. Yeast up to P5. Jack Cooper in P6. Edzak and Barry battling for P8. As you see it there. Oh, speaking of these two, there's carbon fiber flying everywhere. And there's tears. As the South African and the Latvian man. Latvian man? I don't know, Latvian gentleman. Are unfortunately pushed to the back of the grid after that. We're at nearly a half race distance. And it's Liam's turn to keep on track with Mr. Ahern. Let's see how long he can survive and stay within the DRS of John. He's shown some great pace so far. Yellow flag in sector 2. Someone's come off. Hard to see who. As we are into lap 18 of 35. Big train here. As everybody has just ticked in nicely after the safety car restart. So all the way down to P7. And Charlie Gordon is right behind Rob Knable, breathing down his neck. He's struggling to stay with Arthur. Arthur keeping nicely with Sam though. Liam also struggling just a wee bit as Lugos is the next driver to get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Makes 2 so far. Right behind Charlie, it almost sounds like as Jack Cooper's left the session. Oh, let's try and get him back in. We'll have him added. I have a lot of friends in this game. Lucky man, Jack Cooper, lucky man. As I'm looking at a clip here from F5 of Mr. Cornflakes just doing Mr. Cornflakes things. Anyway, yellow flag in sector 1. I'm communicating with online services for some reason. John Ahern still leading the way, but he has not dropped much of the field here in the way he has done previously. Liam on slightly fresher tyres. Is that going to make much of a difference going forward? That'll be an interesting question to find out. Sam staying with them as well. He was once on for P2. Is now currently sitting in P3. Arthur as well in P4. Then Rob in P5. Yeast in P6. Charlie P7. Ricardo in P8. Barry in P9. Edzek rounding out the top 10. While the race is quite tight, it's beginning to settle down just a little bit here. Barry being overtaken, Ricardo being overtaken there by Barry. Lugos are back into the pits. And further up the field, not a whole lot is happening here as the top 4 begin to break away from the rest of the pack. All protected by DRS. Arthur needs to get a move on if he wants to stay within said DRS. Which it looks like he's doing. Sam's used a lot of his battery. Liam has used quite a lot as well as John. Most battery out of anybody leading the way. Even with DRS, it's just not putting as much in as you think. John just a lot of it there in the last straight though. Liam with another helping here along with the drivers behind. Arthur's dropped out of DRS here. Charlie and Yeast are fighting for P6 on the track. Yeast for the inside. Charlie on the outside. Neither driver giving this up just yet. The Mercedes just tucking in behind the Ferrari before turn 2 though. And that is Yeast in P6 as Jack Cooper's back in action with us. He's not going to be happy when he sees where his car is. So now the top 3 breaking away by themselves. Quite comfortably here. They've dropped Arthur Woods. He's outside DRS now. As Arthur just gets a 3-second time penalty, that's going to derail his aspirations of doing well in this race even further. Rob Kidable looking at P4 now, thinking that's his to lose. This race is just damage control for Yeast. As there's a yellow flag in sector 3, someone is going slow. We'll ignore the dodgy pit entry by Mr. Woods. Arthur's into the bits. Barry right behind Charlie. Charlie right behind Yeast. Yeast up to P5. Robin to P4. Sam staying close to the two in front. Nobody really electing to make any big moves here as John's harvesting quite heavily. Just trying to save his battery up for that main straight attack by the drivers behind. Sam needs to get a move on to stay within DRS. Rob over 5 seconds away. What is the chat saying? What are they complaining about next? Callum Clark, I do not care that you bet me, because I haven't played this game in the last 2 weeks. In fact, I haven't played much PlayStation. Apart from today. Andre, you do have a point that there has been a lot less safety cars this season in F3 since the Romanians of Alex Theodore and Tennessee Matei have disappeared. But rest assured, they will be back. Like, well, when they are back, you know they're back. But there has been a lower incidence of safety cars for sure. Everyone tuning in just to watch Yeast bottle this. And now he's back up to P2. If you're just tuning in, John Ahern has dominated this race from the front on pole and was a bit fortuitous with the safety car timing that he was able to keep P1. But he has, and he's done everything right up to this point. Hasn't really stepped a toe out of line. Liam and Sam have both done pretty well as well, it must be said. They haven't done too much wrong. And Rob has been pretty solid. Hasn't been that crashy racer that he's known as. Yeast has been pretty solid as well. Disappointing qualifying from him. And that's just trickled down into where he is in the race. Now he's got company behind him though, and Charlie and Ricardo and Barry. So he's going to have to be careful. Then further down the field, Ricardo and Barry have had a solid enough race. Arthur was running quite well at one point until he had a moment and new equipment. He's down to P9. Edzak hasn't really done a whole lot this race, unfortunately for them. Louis Marion Lugotza hasn't had the best of races. Jack Hooper was running decently until he lost his wing and then disconnected from the game and the AI took control. Matthew Heaney and Aaron Stone are DNS so far as we are into lap 24 of 35. We are 2/3 of the way through this race and we're about to enter into lap 25 of 35. And Liam is closer than he has been in quite some time. Are John's tyres beginning to fall off already? A bit prematurely. Every driver you'd be expecting here to go to the end. Has he taken a bit too much out of his tyres too soon? Charlie and East fighting yet again back down the field for P5. But now the pack is closing in here. Sam right on the back of Liam here, but wow, it's interesting. Callum literally is just here to watch Yeast's downfall. Actually, there's no other way to put it. Which I'm all here for as well. We can watch the Yeast downfall. I still think he's going to be there towards season's end. But we will have to see. This is going to be one of those disappointing races where it's just damage control if you are the championship leader. Further back up the field, Liam unable to get the move into turn 1. Gap is actually growing. He's probably had a bad exit on turn 1 there. Martin Lobb has now entered the chat with with an interesting comment about Bashi, comparing themselves to Bashi being James Hunt and Martin being Nicky Lauda. They are quite funny. Lugo just got disqualified for parking in a dangerous location, whatever that means. As Jack Cooper's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, it's the third driver of the day to do so. Lugo is a lot quieter this season without Ronson winding him up. It must be said, as we're entering into the last 10 laps of this race. John managing to hold on here, but I don't know if it's a combination of the dirty air and lack of battery, but Liam not able to make much headway. Currently, he is closing in now. But he's not going to be close enough to make the move here, not unless John has a massive wobble. Has a little bit of a moment there, and I mean a tiny bit of a moment. But that DRS right there is just useless there, the second one. Absolutely useless. They'll kick that lead though. It's guaranteed Liam's win. Yes, Bashi. No problem, sir. While you're at it, what would your burger, which one of your burger orders would be? Where am I ordering your burger from? Five Guys. Definitely not Burger King or McDonald's. Burgerism is quite nice in Manchester, but I don't think you have those in London. Turn off Hunk's internet. I see the crowd is turning now on Mr. Ahern. Riding comfortably in P1, but Liam is closing in. Yellow flag in Sector 2's Jack Cooper is gone. And that brings out another safety car. I think John might have gotten away with one there. I think he might have been saved. Does anyone pit? Nobody pits. Sam Kent pits. He's the only one with brains in this group. Sam going to come out here in a set of fresh mediums, or maybe even the softs. Double chicken mayo. Oh my god. Why did John or Liam not pit? They shit the bed there. And if Sam comes out ahead, I think that's a mistake from the top two there. I think they all should have pitted. My money's on Kent now. And the chat seems to agree with me from my expert analysis. Why did the top two not pit? Is the safety car even out though? Must be. It doesn't look like it is. If they have to go around again, they actually will be able to pit. But where is the safety car? Well, now it's showing green flags. It was a virtual. That's why. In that case, I'm not entirely sure then pitting was the best. It was a VSC, yes. We just can't tell because this game is buggy in some respects. Interesting. Right, so the top two now in a league of their own for now. Sam is going to have to do a bit of catching up here. I think he might have thought it was going to become a full course safety car. This is another yellow flag in Sector 2, as it looks like Edzak has come off. He has indeed. Sam already back up to P4. I thought it was a safety car, okay? I seen yellow everywhere. It appeared to be a safety car, okay? You've got the same screen as I have here, guys, to look at, okay? So just shut up. Moving on. It is now a two-horse race for the lead because someone pit. Yes, Jack, I'm telling you the game is buggy because it doesn't tell you if it's a VSC or a full safety car. It just says yellow flags. You know? That's my excuse. This ain't my fault. Okay? We all want Liam to do the business here anyway. I know we're all on Team Liam this evening. And he is closing in. Has he saved enough battery? John Ahern's got a full tank of gas here. Liam closing in. Not going to be close enough to make the move this lap. But if he can stay with the Irishman. As Sam Kent naturally does go fastest. He's back up to P3. He's got 5 laps to make up 12.5 seconds. With clean air in front of him. He's going to have some fun. But this is not far from over. €10 giveaway. I'm not giving anything away from your mistakes. Yes, Camel, I know I need to look in the map as a yellow dot. I'm also trying to concentrate on, like, you guys talking shy, the race, giving out about Liam and John not pitting. Anyway, let's just stay on target here, guys. Stay on topic. Half a second is the gap between P1 and P2. This is a good stream tonight, actually. This is great fun. Ivan, do your job and look after F2, okay? I talked you up. I said a good game about you. And now you're shitting on me. 5 laps to go here. As Liam closing. Oh, John is in a wobble on the exit of the last corner. Liam's going to have DRS here. Bashi has came all over his computer screen. And Liam Cross, new race leader. Someone get that fancy F1 graphic. He has a wobble coming out of turn 1. And that compromises him. John Ahern's going to be... What the hell? John Ahern is going to be right on him here like a rash. As the crowd goes wild in chat. We have a race on our hands. And guess who is rapidly closing in? Is Mr. Sam, Mr. Kent. It's going to be a photo finish here, I think. John pushing now for the first time. You can see him, he feels a bit under pressure. After having it really all his own way this whole race. Now he has to work for it as Sam has pulled in another second this lap. As those hards must be near the cliff. As John has another moment. Who the hell is that? Edzak just casually. Anyway, Liam now with 0.8 of a second because of that moment again by John. Meanwhile, Yeast nowhere to be found in P8. Sam still catching up. Now, if these two, if John catches up and starts fighting with Liam here, this is going to open the door for Sam, and we're going to have a 3-way fight for the win. John's outside of the DRS as well of Liam. But he's gaining here. And he's really pushing. Look, you can tell he's under pressure. You can tell that he's been annoyed. 2 little mistakes in 2 consecutive laps. And look what it's done. It's ruined a perfect race for him. He's going to have DRS this lap. He's really pushed in that last sector. Fight isn't done yet, but look at Sam Kent rapidly gaining here. Gaining, but not enough just yet to make a move. This will maybe on the last lap he looks to make the move, maybe. We're going to see what happens. Oh! Through goes Sam Kent. Poor John. Poor John, he's had such a good race. Ah. Right. We have found our second Lando Norris of F3. I hate watching that kid. What can Sam do here? He's got a bit of a mountain to climb. He's got a bit of a mountain to climb. I don't think he's going to have enough in the tank here because he needs to gain 2 seconds of this next lap because he's only going to get one opportunity to overtake. As Jack Cooper has left the session, Ivan, with his expert analysis, doing his best Anthony Davidson impersonation, saying, John pushed the overtake button too early. That is some expert analysis. Right, Sam, you've got to make up 1.7 seconds. John into the pits to replace his broken wing. That's a disastrous result there. That is poor. It's Sammer time, says Ivan. And it is coming down the time. He's gained over half a second in this first sector alone. That is on time for what he needs to do. Delta is coming down rapidly here. Another 2/10 coming out of it. Less than 2 seconds is the gap now. Can Liam hold on for the win? Can Sam Kent pull off a miraculous comeback after everyone said he was crazy to pit? And it's coming on even further, even further. He needs DRS though. He needs it here. Otherwise, he's going to be in big trouble. Is he going to get DRS? That's his first hurdle now, heading into this last lap. I don't think he's going to have it, you know. No, I don't think so. He is going to have DRS. Wow. Well, Liam's going to be sweating here. He's got a lot more battery. But here we go. 7/10 is the difference heading into the last lap of this race. Sam, though, with much fresher tyres than Liam. Liam's going to be struggling here. It doesn't look like fuel's an issue for anybody, but here we go. This is going to be a battle for the win. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Less than 2/10. Can Sam Kent do this? This would be a miraculous win. This would be a miraculous win for Liam if he holds on. This is tooth and nail. Sam going for it early into the chicane. Doesn't do it, but he's still there. He's right behind him into Sector 2. This is not the place to be a hero. Oh my God. Both drivers keeping it on the track. A tiny bit of contact here. Heading into Sector 3 now. Liam has a wobble there. I think that wobble might have actually saved him. Yeast, just to remind us he's still in the race, gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Here comes Sam Kent with the move for the win. Oh my God, and there's contact. Oh! He did a Max Jr. Brzezinski and lets him through. Fair play, Sam. That is very responsible. As Liam Cross will cross the line as the winner of this race. Sam in P2. Rob Knebel will steal the podium. Barry Kruger in 4th. Ricardo Chamberlain in P5. Charlie Gordon in P6. And Arthur Woods, wherever you are, in P7. Yeast in P8. John Ahern disappointingly finishing in P9 after leading most of the race. Edzak in P10. That was the most interesting finish I've seen in F3 for a while. And fair play to Sam, did the right thing. It's all, it was all happening there. That was the interesting win. Interesting race there. F3 is back. Good luck voting for your driver of the day here, I'll tell you that much. It's going to be a tough one to pick between Sam, John, or Liam. So let's have a look here. Well, Liam did win the race. Sam did get the fastest lap. Driver of the day is Mr. Ricardo Chilgren. Okay, interesting. And then Sam Kent gets the cleanest driver after taking out Liam at the end of the race. There is your grid. I'm not going to get time to get the race director. Yeah, I got as much as I could. F2 is live tomorrow night with Mr. Stephen Clay on comms, and then Wrongson in F1. If you don't tune in and join us, or if you're not racing, have a lovely race tomorrow night. And if you aren't racing, have a lovely weekend. Cheerio, everybody, and good night.